We're going to call this meeting to order. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Alderman Hoffman.
Here.
Alderman McKay.
Here.
Alderman Rucker.
Here.
Alderman Collins.
Here.
Alderman George.
Here.
Alderman Osteen.
Here.
Mayor Ross.
Here. Okay. For those of you that are out here, if you're here for the zoning requests, before we go into citizens communication, just to let you know we have public hearings for that. So you probably best to save those for the public hearing if that's what you're here for. So we'll go into citizen communication. This is a time set aside on the agenda for citizens and visitors to address the mayor and board on any topic that is not a public hearing. For those here in person, speakers will be restricted to 3 minutes unless otherwise permitted. Minutes may not be donated or transferred from one speaker to another. Any questions or comments for the mayor and board may also be sent to the city clerk at tberreth, tberreth, at osagebeach.org no later than 10 a.m. on the board's meeting day, the first and third Thursday of each month. Submitted questions and comments may be read during the citizens communications section of the agenda. The Board of Aldermen will not take any action on any items not listed on the agenda, nor will it respond to questions, although staff may be directed to respond at a later time. The Mayor and Board of Aldermen welcome and value input and feedback from the public, and we welcome anyone to come up at this time. Is there anyone here that would like to address the board? Okay, seeing none, we'll move forward. One quick announcement, this is going to be a long meeting. It's my first full meeting, and I will say I'm probably going to fumble something, so just bear with me. Secondly, probably at the hour-and-a-half mark, I'm going to keep an eye out, and Tarek maybe help me with that. If we can find a good break around that time, we're going to take a bio break, okay? Just to let people know it's coming. So, next, the approval of the consent agenda. The board desires the consent agenda may be approved by a single motion. First of all, minutes of Board of Aldermen meeting and bills list. Has everyone had a chance to review those? And are there any questions, additions, or deletions? Seeing none, the liquor license, Alderman Hoffman.
It is in order and signed.
Thank you, Alderman Hoffman. With that, I just need a motion.
Motion to approve.
Alderman Collins. Did I hear a second?
Second.
Alderman McKay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Oh, yeah.
Motion.
Okay.
Pardon me? Okay, motion carries. Start with unfinished business. Bill 26-41, an ordinance of the City of Osage Beach, Missouri, authorizing the mayor to sign a contract with Camoin Associates for the independent economic and market analysis in an amount not to exceed $935, excuse me. This is second reading, and this is Kerry. We'll turn it over to him.
Yes, Mayor Ross, members of the board. I don't have anything further unless you have questions, and if you do, I will do my best to answer them.
Are there any questions from the board? Alderman Collins.
So I had sent an email over earlier, and I know that we talked about it, but I just wanted to kind of, so presumably everything that's, all the data that we would get from this study isn't really used by planning, or it is. And my understanding is that most of it would be used by economic development if and when we replace Eric in economic development. Is that accurate?
So yes, from the perspective of, who the document most directly benefits to do their job, it would definitely be the economic or marketing professional. From a planning perspective, it would be a foundational information that we would use for the comprehensive plan process and the ultimate compilation and formulation of the recommendations of the comprehensive plan.
So wouldn't we be better to wait till after we have a new director of economic development to make sure that the study includes the information that that person may want that might not be in here? I guess that's kind of a question for everybody, Carrie, not just you. Just kind of, I feel like we might be better off waiting until that positions refilled.
Well, here's what I would tell you, and take it for what it's worth. I don't disagree with that statement at all. What I would say is that I also don't know what the mayor and board's vision or intentions are with the marketing director themselves. I don't know when you're going to hire or if you're going to hire and all those things. What I will tell you from my perspective is that yes, it would be good to have that person, assisting in this process once the consultants do it. But secondly, more from my perspective or from the planning perspective, our comprehensive plan is outdated. This year we turned 20 years on the document that we have now, which we adopted and resolved in 2006. And I myself wouldn't feel comfortable going forward with another comprehensive plan process, which is I hate throwing out numbers, but it's $150,000 to $200,000 type of process. Okay, so there's a reason it's taken a while for us to get to the planning part of it, is because for about the last 5 years plus, I've been wanting this type of study done. So I guess what I'm saying is that it's up to the board to do what they feel is the right thing or right time or the right amount of money, but I also need you to understand that until the document is there for me to present to whoever does our comprehensive plan, I wouldn't be bringing a comprehensive plan for the board to approve. Does that make sense?
Yes, I appreciate it. Thank you.
No problem.
Okay. Alderman George.
I guess my question is that's a pretty big number at $150,000, $200,000 for a comprehensive plan. Why would we provide this information to them so that way they can do their job a little easier? I mean, we're giving them information to then apply to what they're supposed to be analyzing and giving to us, correct?
Well, they analyze this data. Anything that we can provide them makes our cost less. Okay.
Okay.
So if we, yes, we could hire a firm that does a comprehensive plan, and the majority of them can either do a marketing study that like we're looking for in-house, or they have, groups that they partner with to do it. But the more we ask them to do, the more the comprehensive plan process will cost. So this would be information that we're paying for it one way or another, Alderman George, if that makes sense.
Sure.
Alderman Osteen.
I supported this survey, but I do have some concerns on who and when this information would be utilized. It seems to me the two individuals that would utilize this information the most are two positions that are currently vacant within the city, and I'm not sure on our time frame on when we are going to rehire those. I agree with Alderman Collins that I feel like we're putting the cart before the horse a little on this, because I would hate for us to go ahead and pull the trigger to get this survey done and then have individuals that fill those new positions come back and state, well, I wanted it more geared toward this data, or I wanted this additional information, et cetera. So it wasn't a question, just a comment. Thank you.
Alderman Ruckert.
I support moving forward with this. And I tell you this because many years ago, we talked about doing this, and we said, well, we need to get an economic development person. We need to get some of these things in place. We had that person. Unfortunately, we lost him because he went on to bigger and better things, but we didn't have the tools ready. And this is a tool. And I'm hoping that we will be replacing that position sooner rather than later. I've heard nothing from anybody that is wanting to not fill that position. I haven't heard any members of the board express a desire not to fill that. We've not directed staff to not do that. So I'm assuming that staff is moving forward to fill a position like they would any other position. So that could be filled hopefully sooner rather than later. And this tool is something that we felt is needed. I totally support the comprehensive plan and the desire to do that. We've been talking for the last year that we feel we're on the brink of some big things happening. and a couple of them have already happened, you know, and we felt this was a tool that we needed to have as the city, as the elected officials and as the staff to be able to make those decisions moving forward. We have the big oasis that was maybe it will, maybe it will. Well, it is. It's on its way. Hopefully, it sounds like we have, I won't put the cart before the horse, but I think we have the outlet mall at least moving forward. And these are some things that we were like, this is a piece of the puzzle that we need to help move forward with that. And that's why we need to have this. We need to be moving forward with it. Thank you.
Alderman McKay.
Do these plans work together from some of the other plans we did, or do they all separate and not correlate?
No, they absolutely all work together. Okay, so you get the marketing plan, the infrastructure services plans, all of those things are documents that a comprehensive plan company will pull together to put within our document that makes the recommendations for our future development in the community. Okay, so just to throw out an example, you know, when we get somebody to do our comp plan and they go and they look at our sewer master plans and our water master plans and our transportation master plans, they're going to make recommendations for development based on where we have strength in our capacities for sewer and water that can handle the type of development that they would want to put there. So if you're in an area that's got plenty of capacity and they've got a good collector road and they've got good water capacity, they can make recommendations for larger density developments. And in areas where we're in the red, where the capacity is low and we don't have much, it would take, you know, quite an upgrade to the services. They won't make recommendations to do major developments in those areas. So yes, every document of that type from a development perspective ties in together and works towards that comprehensive plan and the recommendations that come along with that, the future land use, and then ultimately the plan that they give us to implement what the recommendations are in our comp plan.
Yeah. I was just worried about overlap, paying for the same thing twice.
No, there won't be anything in this that is, you know, it all takes into account the sewer stuff, but it doesn't recreate what Jeff would already have. The marketing study will tell us who we are from the perspective of economics and our markets, but it won't recreate those things within the plan. It'll pull from those numbers to establish the recommendations going forward, if that makes sense.
Any further questions? Alderman Hoffman.
Yeah, I too support this, and the timing seems really good to me. We have it budgeted, we have a plan, we know what we're going to use it for, and I would just caution waiting because we know what the speed of government is. You know, if we're ready to go, we know where this is going to be useful. I'd prefer to pull the trigger now and get underway than end up waiting and waiting and waiting. So I fully support this.
Any firm comments or questions? Then I'm looking for a motion.
Motion to approve.
Alderman Hoffman, do I hear a second?
Second.
Alderman Rucker. All those in favor? Oh, this is a roll call. Roll call vote, please.
Alderman Osteen?
Always start with me on these hard ones.
It's just luck of the draw, Bob.
I'm a yes.
Alderman George?
No.
Alderman Collins?
No.
Alderman Rucker?
Yes.
Alderman McKay?
Yes.
Alderman Hoffman?
Yes.
Motion carries. All right, next is Bill 2647, an ordinance of the City of Osage Beach, Missouri, authorizing the mayor to sign a 3-year agreement with Communication Square to purchase Microsoft 365 licenses. Second reading. Any questions or concerns from the board? Seeing none, motion?
Motion to approve.
Do I have a second? Alderman Collins.
Second.
Second, Alderman Hoffman. All those in favor? Oh, second reading, I'm sorry.
Alderman Rucker?
Yes.
Alderman McKay?
Yes.
Alderman Hoffman?
Yes.
Alderman Collins?
Yes.
Alderman George?
Yes.
And Alderman Osteen?
Yes.
Motion carries. Okay. And I have found my first fumble during citizens communication. There was an email. Each of the aldermen have this on their on the dais. This is from a Mr. George Peter asking the board about sidewalk projects on Nichols Road that were to be done in 2025 and when they will begin. This has to do with the apartment complexes, the preserve. And he's also asking about some others from the end of, down to Dude Ranch to Woodland Cove and Shooters and so forth. And it suggests that we consider acquiring the hatchery property across from the apartment complex school and make it a city park with walking trails and other amenities. Mr. Peters, I appreciate you sending that. And I will say I've asked our city planner to do a little research on what happened to the sidewalks that were discussed. He'll get back to me, and we have your email address. We will get you a response. Okay? Appreciate everyone's patience. Yes?
Could you also share that with the rest of us?
The rest of the board? Sure, absolutely. I appreciate their suggestion. Okay. All right. New business. Let me get my proclamations out. Bear with me, folks. So May is a month of some wonderful government folks. We're going to, what would I say, recognize our police, our emergency medical folks, and our National Public Works folks, or our Public Works folks, because this is National Public Works Week. And I'm going to read the proclamations in a second, but I recognize some of you all that work here for the city of Osage Beach in Public Works and the police and the emergency medical service, and I appreciate you taking your time to come out. We love you and appreciate you. So first one proclamation is Peace Officers Memorial Day, May 15th, and National Police Week, May 11th through 16th, 2026. Whereas the Congress and President of the United States have designated May 15th as Peace Officers Memorial Day, and the week in which May 15th falls as National Police Week, and the members of the Osage Police Department play an essential role in safeguarding the rights and freedoms of Osage Beach, and it is important that all citizens know and understand the duties, responsibilities, hazards, and sacrifices of their law enforcement agency, and that members of our law enforcement agency recognize their duty to serve people by safeguarding life and property, by protecting them against violence and disorder, and by protecting the innocent against deception and the weak against oppression. And the men and women of the women of Osage Beach Police Department unceasingly provide a vital public service. Now, therefore, I, Richard Ross, Mayor, call upon all citizens and all patriotic, civic, and educational organizations to observe the week of May 11th through May 16th as National Police Week in Osage Beach and publicly salute the service of law enforcement officers in our community and communities across the nation. I further call upon all citizens of Osage Beach to observe May 15, 2026 as Peace Officers Memorial Day in honor of all fallen officers and their families. In witness thereof, I, Richard Ross, Mayor, have hereunto set my hand and caused the seal of the city of Osage Beach to be affixed this 7th day of May 2026. Okay, next proclamation. National Emergency Medical Services Week, May 17th through 23rd, 2025. Whereas emergency medical services is a vital public service and the members of emergency medical services teams are ready to provide life-saving care to those in need 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and access to quality emergency care dramatically improves the survival and recovery rate of those who experience sudden illness or injury, and the emergency medical services system consists of first responders, emergency medical technicians, paramedics, firefighters, educators, administrators, emergency nurses, emergency physicians, and others, and the members of emergency medical services teams, whether career or volunteer, engage in thousands of hours of specialized training and continuing education to enhance their life-saving skills, and it is appropriate to recognize the value and the accomplishments of emergency medical service providers by designating Emergency Medical Services Week. Now, therefore, I, Richard Ross, Mayor, in recognition of this event, do hereby proclaim the week of May 17th through 23rd, 2026 as Emergency Medical Services Week. With the theme, EMS Strong Called to Care, I encourage the community to observe this week with appropriate programs, ceremonies, and activities. In witness thereof, I have hereunto set my hand and cause the seal of the city of Osage Beach to be affixed this 7th day of May 2026. Next. National Public Works Week, May 17th through 23rd, 2026, whereas public work services provided in our community are an integral part of our citizens' everyday lives, and the support of an understanding and informed citizenry is vital to the efficient operation of public works systems and programs such as water, sewer, streets, and highways, public buildings, and solid waste collections, and the health, safety, and comfort of this community greatly depend on these facilities and services, and the quality and effectiveness of these facilities, as well as their planning, design, and construction, is vitally dependent upon the efforts and skill of public works officials and the efficiency of the qualified and dedicated personnel who staff public works departments is materially influenced by the people's attitude and understanding of the importance of the work they perform. Now, therefore, I, Richard Ross, Mayor of the City of Osage Beach, do hereby proclaim the week of May 17th through May 23rd, 2026 as National Public Works Week in the City of Osage Beach, and I call upon all citizens and civic organizations to acquaint themselves with the issues involved in providing our public works and to recognize the contributions which public works officials make every day to our health, safety, comfort, and quality of life. In witness thereof, I have hereunto set my hand and caused the seal of the City of Osage Beach to be affixed this 7th day of May 2026. Thank you, everyone. Okay, we'll move on to new business. First new business, or I'm sorry, to a public hearing, excuse me. First, the next is a public hearing for special use permit case 418. GT Interest LLC is requesting an SUP special use permit to construct a residential development and commercial zone. I'll hand this to Kerry Patterson.
Yes, Mayor Ross, members of the board. So as the mayor said, this is the request by GT Interest LLC for a special use permit to build a residential use in a commercial zone. The property in question is 5.8 acres, and the easiest way for me to explain to you how to get to this property is the furthest extent of the City of Osage Beach down Highway 42 and on the corner of Norwood Road. This property that we are speaking of tonight, very similar to what we had with the Aldermen property, is a second tier off of a commercial corridor, and it is located right next to the Hedges Funeral Home property. And basically what they're asking for, much like what I said with the Aldermen property, is this property is zoned general commercial. It is in an area where intensive type development can happen either residential, high density wise, or commercial. And in a situation like this, you're probably looking more at like more storage units or something like that. And in this case, GT Interests has brought forth a request for residential units. What they plan to put in there is a series of triplex type units. I know that they want to start out with 4 to 5 buildings with a total of 12 to 15 units, but we gave them a maximum of 50 units on the property, which obviously at 5.8 acres makes them less than 10 units per acre. The one thing that I want to read to you, I do want to read, and I know I don't like to read to y'all, but I want to read the permitted uses that will be required. Residential uses shall conform to use and construction requirements established for the R3 zoning districts. A maximum of 50 separate units will be allowed to be constructed per required final development plan. There will be a 30-day minimum requirement for all rental units, and the units cannot be sold separate individually, establishing separate ownership of any of those units, which would be kind of like them becoming a condo type of development and selling them out individually. The last thing is that general proviso that I put in there, that commercial uses can be developed on the subject property until construction of the residential uses allowed by the special use permit begins. And once the residential developments for the special use permit starts, then no commercial building can take place on the property. But if they go ahead and they find out that they don't have interest in the residential side and somebody decides to put commercial on there, that can still happen until the actual construction of the residences begins. With that, I took this to the Planning Commission at their last meeting, and they forwarded it to you with a recommendation to approve.
Any questions? Alderman Hoffman.
Am I right in assuming that you want to use an SUP here instead of just rezoning it, just in case, similar to the Alderman project, that if something goes wrong, it reverts back to commercial?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Alderman Osteen.
We're being asked to issue a special use permit, but you've stated that we're going to cap them at 50 units, but their project summary shows 57 units. There seems to be a discrepancy on the numbers.
There is. I'm capping it at 50 units. This is what they've got in front of us, or what we have is not the number that they are planning on, or they are going to be able to put in. So we'll get another final development. What we showed basically gives you an idea of what they're trying to do or what they want to do, basic layout, but 50 units will be the cap.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Any further questions? Alderman Hoffman.
Do we need to make a floor motion for that, or is that something you
No,
can take
no.
care of clerically later?
No, sir. I'm capping it at 50 units. So that's what's in the permitted uses, and it will work.
Roger that, thanks.
Anything else? Oh, this is the public hearing, isn't it? Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, we're opening this now to the public hearing. Anyone want to come speak on this issue? Please come up, sign your name, and glad to hear from you. Going once, going twice. We now close the public hearing. Does that take a motion? Motion. Okay, I need a motion.
Motion to close?
Alderman Hoffman.
Second?
Alderman Osteen. He pointed quick. Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, we'll close the public hearing. So now we go, this is backwards in my packet, that's the problem. So now, motion to approve. Motion to approve? Motion to approve special use permit. Thank you, folks. Get this marked off. Motion to approve special use permit case 418, GT Interest LLC is requesting an SUP to construct a residential development in a commercial zone. Any further questions or comments? Just looking for a motion.
Motion to approve.
Alderman George, do I hear a second?
Second.
Alderman Osteen, those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay. Is the next item the public hearing? Okay. These are backwards. They're backwards in my packet. I apologize, folks. All right, so the next item is a public hearing rezoning case 429 PKM LLC and OCP LLC.
428 is
Yeah, 428 is next.
Okay. Sorry,
Grand
folks.
Teton Mountain.
Public hearing rezoning case 428 Grand Teton Mountain LLC and Jessica Pruitt are requesting the rezoning of attractive land from R3 and C1 to C1 with an E3 overlay. Kerry Patterson.
Yes, Mayor Ross, members of the board. As the mayor said, this is a request by Grand Teton Mountain Investments LLC and Jessica Pruitt to rezone approximately 4.85 acres from R3 and C1, so a portion of it is already zoned C1, to C1 with an E3 overlay for the amphitheater and accessory uses, and now the addition is the new hotel that they're talking about. And the function of the reason that we're bringing this to you today is one, the parking lot area that is going to serve the hotel is going to be on the property that is owned by Ms. Jessica Pruitt and is currently zoned R3. And then both the hotel and the owner of Level 5 had issues with the probability of noises. As you might remember from Level 5 and the process that we went through there, where the hotel wants to go is basically right in the buffer area that was established for Level 5. And with the hotel locating in that area, the hotel itself now becomes the buffer for Level 5. Now, of course, they're going in there to take advantage of the entertainment aspect of what goes on at Backwater Jacks and Level 5, so they're well aware of what goes on. But the reason that we decided to amend the E overlay and add the hotel to it is because as it's in the E3 overlay, the hotel and the Level 5 and Backwater Jacks will be protected from any noise issues. And I'll read that portion. Everything else that I have in here is basic to what typically happens within an E3 overlay. This is the section that is different, and I know Mr. Bradbury can speak a little bit about it. He has spoken to both owners and attorneys for both. But the sound control regulations established for the E3 overlay district and by Chapter 220 will only apply to property and uses outside of the E3 overlay district that are impacted by the uses within the overlay district. And basically what that does is it protects both Level 5 and the hotel itself from noise issues that are caused by either. And with that, we took this to the Planning Commission at their last meeting, and they forwarded it to you with a recommendation to approve.
Okay, so now we open the public hearing. Is that right? Okay. Do we need a motion to do that? No, I didn't think so. Okay. Anyone here to speak on this subject, please come forward at this time. We'd welcome your thoughts. All right. Seeing none, we need a motion to close it, right? Yep. Need a motion to close the public hearing, please.
Motion to close.
Alderman Hoffman, second.
Second.
Alderman Rucker. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Hopefully I've got this paper lined back out. Next item is a motion. Motion to approve. Okay, we're down there. Bill 2665 and ordinances, is that right?
Page 56.
Yeah, you're right there, G.
G? Bill 2655?
Mine doesn't. We're looking here. Mine is a motion to approve.
Okay, we'll get this figured out, folks. This is what I was, so,
No, his is correct. This is the ordinance. That was the amended public hearing.
okay. So, next item is Bill 2655, an ordinance of the City of Osage Beach, Missouri, adopting an amendment to the zoning map of the City of Osage Beach, Missouri by rezoning a parcel of land as described in rezoning case number 428. First reading. Are we on track here?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great, thank you. No worries. There's been some changes. We're all trying to keep up. Any questions or comments from the board? Alderman Rucker.
So Carrie, basically, if I understand what we're doing here with this, is, of course, the owners of these three different properties, which some are the same owners, but in future, all three could be different owners. Basically, what this says is when the police are called at 2 o'clock in the morning by somebody who's sleeping at the hotel, they can say to them, there's nothing we can do.
That's correct.
Thank you. Go right to the, put it right to the chase.
Yeah, we have noise regulations in zoning, but we also have my neighbors are being too loud criminal noise ordinance. And this permits that noise and the criminal ordinance does not apply to permitted noise. And that was our solution.
Yeah. And like I said earlier, and Cole can attest, this is something that both the hotel owners want and the Level 5, so.
Any other questions or comments? All right, seeing none, looking for a motion.
Motion to approve.
Alderman Hoffman.
I'll second.
Alderman Osteen. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, the next item is a public hearing, rezoning case 429, PKM LLC and OCP LLC are requesting a rezoning of attractive land from C1B and C1. Kerry Patterson.
Yes, Mayor Ross, members of the board. As the mayor said, this is a request by PKM LLC and Ozark Capital Partners LLC to rezone approximately 2.5 acres of property that's located approximately 230 feet north of the Jeffries Road interchange on the west side of Jeffries Road. Currently, the property is Zone C1B, which you may know is our commercial lodging districts, which allows hotels, motels, resorts, or condominiums. What the applicant would like is to rezone it to C1 in order to be able to provide a retail or service type of use on the Jeffries frontage. This particular property, the majority of the subdivision itself, probably back when it was done plus 50 years ago, was meant to be a residential development. But of course, it's zoned commercial currently. But this particular piece of property is located directly across Jeffries Road from the 4-story parking garage that is going to be there. It certainly is in one of the most intense areas within the community. Back when it was Zone C1B, of course, the expressway did not exist and the interchange was not there. So we're talking about property that its main access to an arterial was Osage Beach Parkway, which at the time was Highway 54. Of course, since that time, everything about that particular area has changed. They have made this request. I took it to the Planning Commission at their meeting in April, and they sent it to you with a recommendation to approve.
Okay. Thank you, Kerry. With that, we'll open the public hearing. If anyone has any comments or thoughts for the board around this subject, please feel free to come forward and sign in, and we're glad to hear from you. Thank you, Ty.
My name is Pam Nelson. We live behind the property down Sun Circle. There are deed restrictions on the property that's in question here. Our road actually goes right through the middle of where he is wanting to do his. We oppose it because we're not really sure what he wants to do either. We have seen some things, but just not sure exactly what, without a definite answer. Are you doing parking? Are you doing restaurants, retail, lodging? We haven't had those answers. The property itself might be vacant, but our road runs through there. Like I said, there are restrictions. On his application, he stated that there were no restrictions, but on Book 2, page 56, it says no business for gain or profit. This affects all of our houses back there. We're on lakefront and, are perfectly happy with the developments that are going on, but this is right in our own backyard. We know there are lots of changes, but we still need access to our homes, and would appreciate you opposing this.
Okay.
Quick question, if I could.
Go right ahead.
Where did you say you live again?
We're down Sun Circle.
Sun
So
Circle.
we're on the lakefront behind all this property.
Okay, thank you.
Just for clarity, this action is not going to close the road or change any of that access, correct? Correct.
Yeah, that is correct. If anything is done with the road, it has to be done through the owner or the applicant with these folks.
Because they have legal easement through the property.
Correct.
Right, okay. Go ahead, sir.
My name's Kurt Crispin, and I live off of Sun Circle, and I oppose this the development or changing of the zoning.
Okay.
Thank you.
For
Thank
what?
you.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear it. The last part.
I'm against changing the zoning on it.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
Okay. Is there anyone else that would like to speak for or against this? Come on up.
Yes, I'm Charlie Bonte. I'm also live off of Sun Circle. I oppose the plan moving forward with this, and I appreciate that you, the members here, do also approve of the zone change going to the C1. We don't want to be involved in all the commercial developments, possibly that'd be right out our front door. We've been the house that we're in, 48 years, started with my family, so we, it's bittersweet for us, and we know that the Bennett subdivision that is proposing of the change of going to the C1, there is a covenant on that as well, saying for no profit in gains. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate your time. Is there anyone else that would like to come forward and speak for or against Okay. With that, I need a motion to close the public
So
hearing.
moved.
Alderman Collins, thank you.
Second.
Second, Alderman Rucker. All right, public hearing's closed. Oh, I'm sorry, we need a vote. All those in favor, I'm sorry.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, we're going to close the public hearing. Next, we do Bill 2656, an ordinance of the City of Osage Beach, Missouri, adopting an amendment to the zoning map of the City of Osage Beach, Missouri by rezoning a parcel of land as described in rezoning case 429. First reading. Carrie Patterson.
Yes, I don't have anything further unless the board has questions, which I'll be happy to answer.
Alderman Hoffman.
Yeah, I have several since this is in my ward.
Yes, sir.
For the public, what's the difference between C1 and C1B?
C1 is our general retail and services. It basically is our least restrictive commercial zone. C1B, again, is commercial lodging, which would allow hotel, motel, condominium, or resort construction.
So currently, they could only build a resort there? They couldn't build retail there as under C1B?
Under C1B, they cannot, no.
On this plot here, it looks like we're changing the top next to Jeffries Road to C1 and leaving behind it is still C1B?
Yes, sir, because he doesn't own all of that property back there.
Okay. That's owned by somebody else?
It's owned by the folks here. Their houses are down on the lakefront. The applicant does own the property between the C1 piece and the lakefront homes, but he is not rezoning it. It's staying C1B.
So the C1B that's on this page, who would be the one that would be coming to ask to have it rezoned to C1 if they wanted to?
It would be the same group.
People that were just up here?
No, the gentleman, the folks that own the property that is being requested for rezoning tonight own that property as well. They're just not looking to rezone it.
So what I'm trying to get to here is I would be concerned about the second portion here currently being C1B because it does look like it's a bit of a buffer between the homes and what's being changed. Well, what's the likelihood of they want to rezone that now to C1?
Well, what I would tell you is, and you can ask them, they are here. What I would tell you is that's a steep hill that goes down. I don't know that there's necessarily any value in it at C1. I don't know that they can necessarily do anything with it at C1B, but the applicants are here if you would like to ask them if they have any.
Well, I mean, not necessarily, but I would just tell you I would definitely be opposed to that.
Yeah.
Because at least this allows a buffer between the homes and what's being changed.
Yes, so that would leave that, it's still commercial, but it would leave that separation between C1 and C1B. And then there's the natural buffer of the topography, which these homes are between 40 and 60 feet below the leading grade of Jeffries Road. So they're down the hill. I mean,
Okay. So something else, when the mayor asked about, they have an easement to this road, is there any possible way to where they would lose access to that road?
no, there's no way that they would lose access to the road. That can't be done without their approval. So typically in a situation like this, and these things happen quite candidly all the time within a community like ours, when somebody makes a request like this, then they work with the surrounding property owners if they want to make some type of change, whether it's a traffic change or relocating sewer and water services, and upon those agreements, then those changes are made.
Okay.
Without the agreement of the folks below, the road stays.
They can't even alter it. It stays in its current condition.
Stays where it is.
Okay. What is the zoning on each side of the proposed changed lot?
Legitimately, everything surrounding this subdivision is zone C1 general commercial until you get down past Dog Days where it turns to single family residential.
So on both sides of it, it's already C1?
Yes, yeah. Down to the lakefront. So,
Okay.
I mean,
Why is this behind? Okay, that's right. Okay, that's all I have. Thanks.
All right. Alderman Osteen.
I was concerned by some of the comments, some of the homeowners that live by this property stated just now that the property is under some type of HOA or some type of jurisdiction for restrictions. Can we clarify that, please?
Yes, there is a subdivision covenant that specifies single-family residential use, non-commercial use. But those being, covenants within the subdivision, that is up to them to enforce or their HOA to enforce. The city has no authority to do so. Alderman Osteen, the property is already zoned commercial to allow, non-single-family residential uses. And candidly, those properties, even the ones, that they live on, this is not a piece of property that we would consider suitable for single-family residential with everything that's going on around it, now and in the future.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Alderman George.
I do have a question to the builder here. From what I hear on this plat is that the road goes directly in the middle of that plat. Do you have any intentions of moving this road to help with your building of maybe set a hotel or something along those lines to accommodate this, or are your intentions to keep that road where it is?
We had offered the homeowners to relocate the road, to move it toward 54, that way where the old Calfran Drive would be. And we agreed to do whatever utility work, put the pavement in, grant them access to their subdivision, donate some land for them for their use, gate their entry, fence it in, and provide common ground and landscaping for them. And they chose not to do so.
Alderman Hoffman brought up a really good point about the C1B and you guys being connected to that. Do you foresee you ever needing to change that to a C1B?
At this time, no. We have a use
Or a C1, I'm sorry.
that fits within the C1B district now, and we thought that would be a good buffer to leave between the C1.
One of the comments that our constituents had were concern for retail space and understanding after listening to Mr. Patterson that you cannot have retail space. It's got to be something as a hotel or a resort. You're also under that understanding as well?
What's that?
As a C1.
In the C1B.
Yeah, as a C1B, so I'm
C1B,
changing it, yeah.
right.
I guess you're under, I think we're on the same page, right? Okay. And then just to clarify that on both sides of the C1, all the way down is a C1 that here want to change.
Yes, sir. So you had what used to be the Calfran Lodge is on, if you're looking at the property on the left-hand side. And you have what used to be the Brooks condos and resort on the right-hand side.
Okay. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Alderman Collins.
So I have a question. Someone had brought up in the comments that we're changing the zoning without having a plan on what's going to go on the property. We normally do that way, or would it normally, why not wait till we have a plan to request the zoning change?
Because a standard rezoning, we actually cannot do that. That is conditionalizing rezoning. If they come to us with a plan like, the other ones that we've seen tonight, they come to us with those plans and we work to get the appropriate zoning or special use permit. But if they come to us wanting a simple, straight rezone from R1 to R2 or R1B to R3, we can't put conditions that says we want to see what you're going to do before you do it. If it's the right, the basics is if it's the right zone for the property, whatever permitted uses within that zone would be deemed allowable or appropriate for the property.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions? Alderman Rucker.
The road, I'm correct in saying that road is not a city road?
It is not one of our roads.
So I just want to make it clear that if that road is moved, we don't have anything to say about it.
No,
That the developer wants to move that and the citizens that live there are not happy with that, they need to take up, that's the battle between them and the developer.
Yeah.
We can't we can't go down there and tell the developer he can't move that road.
It's a matter of contract. I mean, deed restrictions, all this, it's a contractual matter.
Right.
And the same goes for, I know, Ms. Nelson mentioned the no commercial use restriction. We have, obviously haven't done the title work on your property, but if that's in place, the zoning doesn't change that. So if there's a deed restriction that says no commercial, then that's a contractual matter between them. They've got their attorney here with them tonight, so, and a very good one at that. So that is separate and in addition to the zoning, where the zoning case is just, I think to Carrie's point a moment ago with Alderman Collins, determining what an appropriate use of this property is in general without regard to a specific plan. Now, whether that use ever comes to be is between the developer and the property owners.
And lastly, to be clarified in this, it is not our responsibility to take care of making sure deed restrictions are enforced.
That's correct. That's the court's job.
I've heard that at the P&Z meeting, I've heard that here, where people think it's up to us to do that. It's not our responsibility, and we can't.
Right. That's a civil matter, as I understand.
Yeah, we have neither the authority nor the power, nor the manpower to do so.
Right. Any other questions or concerns? Alderman Hoffman.
Well, just it's in my ward, I feel obligated to explain why I see how I see this. C1B made a lot of sense 30 or 40 years ago, but now you have a new development, a $450 million development right across the street, and this piece of land has a road running right through the middle of it, which really limits what this property owner can do with with how to make money on commercial land. And I find it unfortunate that the homeowners don't see eye to eye, but I just can't see a reason to vote against this.
Okay. Alderman George.
Again, I share the sentiments as Alderman Hoffman. I definitely sympathize with our constituents. However, knowing that on both sides of this is a C1, he's not trying to push all the way back to do a C1 and kind of give himself a buffer. It sounds as if there's been some work to be done to try and appeal to the constituents. But with knowing that it's C1 on both sides of it, and knowing as well that there is a major development on the other side of the road, I can't help but to support this as well.
Okay.
Mayor, can I
Yes.
just make one
Carrie,
more
go ahead.
comment? Just to make one more comment, and I want to make it, clear and understandable for the piece of property itself. If somebody came in and bought this property from this individual and bought all the houses on the home front and came and asked for the city to rezone that subdivision to a single-family use, I would not recommend approval of that to this board. That would not be the appropriate thing to do to anybody who wanted to buy a house in there. The activity around it is legitimately far too intense for a single-family zone.
I agree. Any other comments or questions? We're looking for a motion.
Motion to approve.
Sorry, was that Alderman George?
Yes.
Okay.
Approve what?
The rezoning.
First,
The ordinance.
we close the public hearing.
I thought we closed the public.
Close the public
We
hearing.
did.
We closed the public hearing, right. Okay, so motion to approve the ordinance or the,
Are we approve it? Because I've got
Adopting an
confused.
amendment.
We approve it in ordinance, or are we approving the rezoning case?
no, we're adopting an ordinance of the city of Osage, an amendment to the zoning map of the city of Osage Beach by rezoning a parcel of land as described in the rezoning case hearing number 429.
I don't have that ordinance number. That's-
It's first reading of an ordinance, and I screwed the mayor up on that because I was looking at the old agenda. So
Okay.
it's Bill.
Okay, I just want to get,
Are there any questions about any further questions at this point? That's fine. Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
we didn't get a second.
Oh, we didn't have a
I'll second.
second?
I interrupted you,
I
I'm sorry.
apologize. All right.
I'll second.
All right. Thank you, Alderman Collins, with a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right. Next one is public hearing rezoning case 430. Lakefront Apartments LLC is requesting a rezoning of attractive land from R1B to R3. City Planner Kerry Patterson.
Yes, Mayor Ross, members of the board. As the mayor said, this is a request by Lakefront Apartments LLC to rezone a piece of property from R1B to R3 with a PUD1 overlay to allow 48 apartment-style dwelling units on 3.86 acres of land. This piece of property is back behind Deerberg's. It is fronted on Links Road, and it is a piece of property that is owned by the owners of the apartment complex that exists already out at the end of Links Road. The basics of what they're asking for is multifamily type development in an area that our comprehensive plan calls for moderate density. By definition, in our comprehensive plan, moderate density is 6 to 13 units. When they initially came to us, they wanted a number of apartments that was to approximately 16 units per acre. And I requested or told them that I wouldn't make a recommendation of approval unless they got it into the moderate density portion of our comprehensive plan. And with that, they removed units from each of the 4 buildings to go down to 4 12-unit buildings for a total of 48 units. There's a couple of things that I want to keep in mind on this particular one. There was concern, Alderman or Mayor Ross can attest to that, from some of the owners on Stewart Drive because of traffic. And the typical things that I have in here as far as my permitted uses, they are in general pretty typical to what we see. But one thing I do want to go ahead and let you know is as part of this PUD, one of the things that I am requiring is at the time Links Road is completed, the developer will have installed an impassable gate on the primary entrance to the development from Stewart Drive. This gate will remain closed and locked to access and shall only be opened in case of emergency or if Links Road is temporarily impassable. The basics of what that does is that takes all of the traffic for the new apartments as well as the existing apartments and takes it off of Stewart Road, and they will now use the Zebra Road as the collector down to Links Road being a new road that they will install as part of this development. We took this to the Planning Commission at their meeting in April, and they forwarded it to you with a recommendation to approve.
Okay. With that, appreciate it, Kerry. We'll open the public hearing portion of this. Is there anyone who would like to come forward and speak for or against this? Please feel free to come forward and sign in. All right. Seeing none, I need a motion to close the public hearing.
Motion to close.
Alderman Rucker, I need a second.
Second.
Alderman McKay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. We will now move forward with Bill 2657, an ordinance of the City of Osage Beach, Missouri, adopting an amendment to the zoning map of the City of Osage Beach, Missouri by rezoning a parcel of land as described in rezoning case number 430, first reading. Any questions? Alderman Rucker.
Yes, Kerry.
Yes, sir.
The road you're talking about that we're going to request or require be gated. I have a couple questions and concern. And Chief, I have a question with you. Do our present police officers, do we have any, do we carry the Knox key?
No, we don't.
Okay, for the board's information, what I'm referring to is the fire service has a system that they call the Knox box system. And that system is a way that as a commercial business, you can put a box on your building or you can have a Knox system on your gate that they have one key that fits all. And it eliminates, you have to, back when I got in the fire service, carry a glob of keys like this for everybody. I would like to see if maybe there's some reasoning on why the police couldn't carry that or be involved. Do our ambulance carry it?
No.
I would like to ask if you could see and have some conversations about that. I think that's within the city, that's something that our emergency service people should be having access to. And the reason that comes to light now, which it should have come to my head a long time ago, is in this situation here, this gate's going to be locked, And if our emergency service people, police or whatever, need to get in there to get that gate open, what are they going to do? If we require, and I believe the fire district does, but we should make it be known that they should be required to put a Knox box lock system on this gate so that it alleviates the difficulties in times of emergencies. And I'd like to see, Chief, if you could investigate, see if that's something we can
do that.
And maybe there's some reasonings why we shouldn't have it, and I won't hold you that because it just hit my brain, and that's the reason I didn't call you ahead of time.
That's okay.
In the meantime, I'll get with the fire chief and see if they're, if they would prefer us to make that a part of this request, that they put the Knox lock on it.
I believe it's a requirement of the fire district, but I just want to make sure, since we're requiring it,
Okay.
we're requiring a lock, and a lock is not that expensive. A Knox lock is a little bit more expensive, so I would want to make sure that they're aware that there's a little more expense, not we're going to require, but it's going to be required.
So, but it is still, as it's understood, this would be a secondary entrance only for emergencies. The links would be completely open.
Right.
Unless it wasn't, which is why I put in that
That's
proviso.
why, to me, it's, once you said that emergency, why I believe it's really important that we make all emergency services have that ability to gain access quickly.
Understood, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Old fire chief coming out of me.
Chief, go ahead, please.
We do carry forcible entry tools, so we can get in, and we also have the same situation between Park Place condos and Compass Point. They have a gate there that's closed.
Can I ask a question for clarity? When you say forcible entry, do we carry, for example, bolt cutters and things like that to cut the chain or the lock?
Bolt cutters, sledgehammer with wedge.
Which in some ways may be quicker and less complicated.
And more fun.
And more fun.
Certainly cheaper. Certainly cheaper on the applicant, but again, I'll get with the fire chief and see what he says.
And just for complete clarity, Chief, would the ambulance service carry those also?
No.
Okay.
But most often when the ambulance is going on a call, fire department's
there. Okay, good. Other questions? Alderman Hoffman.
Yeah, how many units are getting added here?
48 total.
And how many were down on 42, off the top of your head?
As many as 50, the max of 50.
We're looking at 100 new units here in Osage Beach, so that's just really good news, so fully support this.
Let me clarify, because I know this gets out there in social media and everything.
Say the word.
Everybody has a different perspective on what's affordable or those type of things. I do want to, let you all understand that, both of these developments, at least to this point, are planning on using their own money. They're not going to ask for incentives, those type of things. And, the amount that they will be charging for these will be to get their money back. There's not a specific amount of money. Like I told the planning commission, my apartment I had in college was 1 year old and I paid $3 1/4 for it. So that'll tell you how old I am. But that's just not something that we will ever see happen, at least here at this point. But they are not marketing these as, federal tax credit, workforce or affordable housing. So I just wanted to make that clear so everyone knows.
Any other questions or comments? I just have one question. Is the owner a representative here?
I don't know what kind of representative Mr. Marski is, but he would be the one that'll talk for him, hopefully very
Appreciate you being
eloquently.
here, Matt. So when this came up during the campaign, the folks over there, and I live close to there, and they're very happy about the fact that the traffic is being affected at the end with the close-up and so forth. That's great. During that interim, during construction, I've been told that you all plan to make sure that the construction trucks and so forth use the existing road there before it's completed. Is that the plan?
We're going to have to, yeah,
Okay.
until we get that road up and running.
Okay, so all I can say is please make sure all your contractors know that, because those folks over there will be watching. So just want to make sure that was clear, and that way it'll assure them that, that's what your plans are. Thank you, I appreciate you being here tonight too.
Wait, can I ask him a question?
Sure, go right ahead.
So
Alderman
you
Collins.
said you'll have to use the existing road until the other one is built. At what part of the process do you plan on building the other road?
I think they might be dictated by Kerry a little bit.
Yeah.
I think usually they make us put in infrastructure first.
Okay,
Yes, it will have to be completed before they start getting COs.
Perfect.
Right, so there's an old existing road there that they will utilize until they get near completion would be my estimation, and then they would finish it right at the end. Is that a fair statement?
Now, again, we would build the incoming road before we'd start the
Oh,
permits.
is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's even
He's gonna
better.
make us do that, yes. If they
Okay.
had their choice, they'd build apartments and hope that you didn't notice we never built the road.
No, you weren't gonna get away with that.
We will
Which is-
require, what our requirement is that the road is complete before we CO the
Right.
units. A lot of times what will happen is they'll build the curb and gutter and the sidewalk and they'll put the first lift of asphalt down, which will allow to be used while they, do a few buildings. And once they get to the last building, then they can put the final lift of asphalt on there to complete it so their trucks don't tear it up. One thing I will say is that if there's going to be a situation where they will use Stewart at all, I'll make sure that I get with Mr. Fisher and Rob, and we'll go take a video of the road before they start construction, that we can make sure that if they do any damage to our road, which Stewart is, that they will have to fix it before they leave.
Well, certainly my authority, but my suggestion is that we do as little as possible to the road before you build it. That's your choice, because if you're gonna turn it over to the city, I'd rather not have any trucks on it until everything's complete, or the trucks all be off of it at completion. So we'll figure it out. Thank you.
Yep. Thank you. And you're good.
Alderman George, go ahead.
I do have a question, and this is just because, I am new at this. When we, and I guess this would be directed towards you, Carrie, Mr. Patterson.
Yes, sir.
When we do constructions like this and we figure out our permits and construction that is happening, this is a position where we could potentially have some heavy equipment on there, it could damage the road. Do we preemptively assess impact fees or anything like that when we are doing big constructions? And speak of the Oasis maybe, right? When they're crossing the road and they're damaging the sides. Do we have the foresight to do that? Do we even have the ability to assess impact fees prior to major developments?
We have the ability to assess impact fees to our water and service equipment and lines and pumps and all of those things. We do not have a transportation impact fee, and we cannot have a transportation impact fee because we are a fourth-class city. Basically, what we are able to require is once a development of this type starts, we put on them what type of road that they have to build for the new development. And then we also, if they are going to in any way, shape, or form impact our existing roads, that we have video of them so that we can go back to the developer and ask that they fix what they have damaged.
Okay, so we do have some type of recourse with it that we're entitled to?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay. Any other questions or comments? Looking for a motion.
Motion to approve.
Alderman Collins, do I hear a second?
Second.
Alderman Hoffman. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, next item.
Motion to, what do we're not, is it an ordinance again, or are we?
An ordinance adopting an amendment to the zoning map.
I don't have those ordinance numbers.
I think the original agenda didn't have them, but the corrected one does.
Okay, my mistake. I didn't copy it and bring it with me. My bad.
No worries.
I was working off of that one too. That's where he and I got messed up.
My bad.
Okay. Next item, L, Bill 26-44, an ordinance of the City of Osage Beach, Missouri, amending Section 125.120, attendance and leaves of the city code as set forth. First reading. And this is Maddie Moon, Human Resource Director.
Thank you, Mayor and members of the board. This revision is simply to clarify language, outline an actual procedure, and ensure compliance with federal regulation under the Uniform Services Employment and Reemployment Rights Act of 1994, also known as USERRA. I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you. Any questions? Okay, Alderman Rucker. Nope, seeing none. I'm looking for a motion.
Motion to approve.
Alderman Rucker, second.
Second.
Alderman George. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next item, Bill 2645, an ordinance of the City of Osage Beach, Missouri, authorizing the mayor to sign a contract extension with Lucky 8 LLC for an access agreement. First reading, this is Todd Davis. Police Chief.
Mayor and members, excuse me, Mayor and members of the board, this is a request to extend our agreement between Lucky 8 TV and the city for an additional year through May of 2027 for filming of season 3 of Ozark Law. Members of the board, city administration, and the police department have met with Lucky 8 staff and discussed concerns that have risen during season 2. Those concerns have been addressed, and we're confident they won't occur again. And obviously, we have a lot of people that watch Ozark Law for the law enforcement incidents, but we've worked with Greg and Lucky 8, and we're going to try to get some of the events that we have here during the summer, like our 250th celebration with Heart of the Lake Freedom Fest, the shootout, Canine Cannonball, and even the progress of the Oasis development. Police Department recommends approval. Greg from Lucky 8 is here if you all have any questions for him.
Mr. Henry, appreciate you coming. You'd like to come on up if you'd like. If you have anything you'd like to say, go right ahead, and then we'll see what questions we have.
Sure. If I can take a few minutes of your time. Just wanted to say, so I'm Greg Henry. I'm the co-president of Lucky 8 TV. I'm here tonight because of the opportunity to do a season 3 of Ozark Law with your PD.
Can you speak into the microphone a little bit?
Yes, sir. Is that
Thank
better?
you. It's a little
Sorry.
short. You're tall.
It's a little short. I'll get a little shorter. Over the past 2 summers, we've documented the incredible work of the Osage Beach PD. And while we've seen our fair share of the nightlife on the lake, I want to also say that we've seen the humanity of policing, whether it be a quick stop for an officer to shoot a ball with a teen, or the bond between K-9 and their handler, or the assistance given to a stranded family by getting a car seat out of the lockup room, or the property room, to help them get their child home safely. To share a little bit about the audience response, this is a show that always rates as excellent, which is a rare thing for shows, for viewers to say that. And while the viewers say that they come here to see the place, they're also coming because they're getting to know the people behind the badge. Officers that rise to the challenge of a wide variety of calls, which viewers say demonstrate the complexities of policing. Complexities that are always handled with professionalism and humanity. As we look ahead to the possibilities for a new summer, and Chief, you mentioned this, with America 250, combined with the 60th anniversary of Lake Ozark, it offers an interesting backdrop for us for this new season. Meaningful work is also happening at the amusement park down the highway, and so we look forward to using these themes where we can to hear from our officers and others about the past and hope-for future here on the lake. The opportunities will be incremental, as at its core, it is still a series that documents the work of law enforcement. But we want to take these opportunities to help the audience learn more about the lake, this town, and this place. Thank you for your time and for your consideration.
Thank you, Mr. Henry. Any questions for Mr. Alderman George?
I just have a comment. I really do appreciate you taking multiple days and time to get here, because I know you don't live here, and you have to fly and stay in our hotels, which, thank you. I truly believe in the conversations that we had that you really, my thing is I have grown up here. There's been a lot of family and things that we do, and we get a lot of light on our party scene and things that we've had here, and I really do appreciate that you are focusing a little more towards the family side that we had discussed. So I really do appreciate that, and I do truly believe that our conversation that we had was truthful, and I thank you for that.
Thank you, sir.
Alderman Hoffman.
Well, I have some serious concerns. One, footage was used in season 2 at Backwater Jack's, and I don't know how you guys got it. I don't know if it was through our police down there. I know that the owners did not give you approval to shoot on their property. So walk me through how that was possible.
Yes, sir. So on the first, we went through a standard FOIA request through the city, and that's how we got the footage. However, we have had conversations, and on a go-forward basis, and I've also communicated this to the owner of Backwater Jack's, we will not be on his property, shooting on his property, and also we will not utilize any camera footage from any private business without their permission.
So moving forward, there will be, if the business owner does not give permission to use the footage or be on their property, it will not be used. There's not going to be any sunshine law here, something like that, because this can't happen again. This is something I was concerned about in the very beginning. I asked it, and I kind of got half an answer, and now it's happened. And we need to protect our businesses down here. And, you know, I look at it as if that is to happen again, I will never support this again, nor I will support anything moving forward where our businesses can be compromised. So that's my first thing. And do we have that buttoned up legally?
That's not in our agreement. I mean, as far as between them and Backwater Jacks, I think they've worked that out between them and Backwater Jacks. Any private property owner has the right to say, you can't be on my property, or you can be on, but you can't film.
They did that, and it still got out there.
And ultimately, that's, I mean,
Yeah,
that's their potential liability. That's not something we.
I realize it's their potential liability, but it's my vote to try and protect our businesses. And if you can't guarantee that, then I am not going to support this.
That's why I'm here, and that is why I also met with the owner of Backwater Jacks.
I'm not talking about just Backwater Jacks. I'm talking about every business in Osage Beach.
I understand.
So, Alderman, are you asking that we put something in the contract, or are you asking for his personal insurance? Because I want you to know that
I want it buttoned up legally, that they are saying we will not use any business footage, whether it's their own or our police footage, unless express permission is given by the property owner.
And that's what I'm saying.
Can we provide that in the contract?
You're putting me on the spot. I have to think about it.
I don't think we as a city have that authority.
No, I can just assure you that we had this conversation initially. I mean, Mr. Henry came in and was willing to speak to us, and I had a very similar conversation with him, and I took the man on his word because I think he realizes that if they need to get this right for this to continue, I just want to say that they do a great job of showing our police officers professionality, their care and their concern, and it's admirable, but that we also have to take care of our businesses. And he assured me that that would occur. We did not go down the contract path yet, and so I don't know that we can answer your question right at this moment.
Well, whether it's through contract or do we have the ability to pull the show if they do it and we find out?
No, we don't have editorial control.
Well,
they won't give it to us, and we don't want it for legally.
Okay.
We don't want editorial control.
There is a review process, and so we watch these shows prior to their completion per the contract, and that will continue to happen. So these shows will be seen by your legal, by your mayor, by your chief.
Well, I was very happy with the show until this incident. And this incident really put me on the opposite of it because our businesses down here need to be protected. We also had questions about our insurance and how that is covered. Has that been addressed?
I'm not sure what question.
Well, whenever our insurance company came down here and we went through, I can't remember what's the name of the insurance company that came down and gave us their synopsis.
NPR.
They didn't have an answer then as to whether we are covered or not for anything that happens out there. One of our police officers does something wrong, it's on camera, it gets used. Are we covered?
I'm not sure what the question is, but our police officers are on camera all the time anyways. They wear body cameras. We have dash cam. I mean, I'll give you an example. When Officer Carson passed, she had several DWIs pending. And even though she was not able to testify, we were still able to get convictions on all of the ones we had BACs over .08 because we had enough video evidence from her body cameras and from the second responding officer's body cameras and dash cams and in-car cameras that even without her present, without her able to testify, we were able to show what she saw. And so everything's already on video anyways. And we had Lucky 8 at several of those. And I asked for copies of their videos just in case. Didn't even need them because we had enough on body cam and dash cam and in-car camera. So
you feel like we are covered both from an insurance perspective and a legal perspective?
I'm not sure what liability would result from us having an extra camera on the car.
Okay, well,
I got 3.
I don't know, I would still like to see something in writing stating what you, it's not that I don't believe you, it's that I think that should be in writing somewhere, somehow. So I'm a no until I see that, and then once I see that, I would change my vote.
Okay. Alderman Osteen.
I agree with some of Alderman Hoffman's concerns. I honestly don't think legally we have the authority to initiate anything on a contractual side regarding what you're asking, as far as limiting or getting some type of agreements on properties they will not enter or exit. I think a lot of that goes hand in hand with the fact that they do have final editing rights. So we basically do not sign off on what footage they can and cannot use. To expand on the questions regarding insurance, when our current insurance carrier was here, NPR, we did ask them that because we're a part of the show, are we sufficiently covered for any defamation or slander issues that would come back on the city? Because even though the show states that, once again, with all the caveats that you're innocent until proven guilty, blah, 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 it doesn't matter. If that footage is still there and you're still found innocent of a charge or an arrest, your name is still out there associated with that charge or arrest. So defamation of character, slander, etc. That was our question to NPR, and we never received a full answer on that. And it was just wanting to know, do it require additional insurance? Because by doing this, we're opening ourselves up to more probability of those issues happening, and it was never really clarified.
This is the first I've heard that question, so I'm not familiar with that conversation. But again,
Does it make sense to everybody? Because it was discussed verbatim at the meeting we had with NPR.
So, could I make a suggestion on this? Could we, if this were to pass on the first reading, is this a first reading? Yes. Could we get an answer on the insurance between now and then, on the second reading? Okay.
I'll just add that I don't think that there's a lot of, I mean, defamation is a false statement. Slander is a false statement. You know, I think what you're talking about is more like arrest or something like that. But
that was part of it as well.
But that's for that to happen, we would have had to have violated somebody's constitutional rights, and at that point, we're already on our own cameras doing it anyways. So either we violated somebody's constitutional rights or we didn't. And again, I'm going to go back to, I don't know what an additional camera, you know, the fact that it was broadcast is obviously not great, but we still have to do our jobs and do it.
It wasn't a legal issue. It was more or less just get insurances for our insurance carrier, that this wasn't opening us up to any additional premiums or coverages needed, et cetera, which we never got clarified. So
Okay.
Yeah,
We'll get that
check on
answer.
it. I will add on Alderman Hoffman's question about buttoning it up illegally. I will say one thing that I know we cannot do is the video that we're talking about, which it was security footage from a private business that we obtained lawfully, and then they obtained lawfully from us through a sunshine request. And there was a misunderstanding between them and the business about whether they were supposed to be there or not. That misunderstanding has been clarified very clearly, as I understand it. But we cannot require them to not sunshine things from us. We cannot make them agree to not use the sunshine law. That's illegal, like really, really illegal.
Well, I understand that. That's my point.
But as to the rest of it, though, it is between them and each property owner whether they have permission to film there. And I think he's making a gentleman's agreement, if you will, that even though he could sunshine those, they will not use it without the permission of the property owner, even though anybody can walk in, sunshine that video from us, and put it on YouTube tomorrow. That's because it's a public record.
Right, but you're kind of making my point that we have no way to legally hold them accountable for not doing it.
We can't do that to anybody, though. Like you could
Right, but this is
sunshine
the
that
only
tomorrow.
entity that's shooting a TV show. I'm not trying to change the sunshine law. I'm trying to find a way to protect our businesses.
You can't protect them from the sunshine law.
Well, I'm aware of that, but so why, I'm sure, I've worked in the industry. I'm sure you don't want to give up editorial rights, but is there some way of us seeing it? I don't want to call it last edit, but in some capacity to where, we can see what you're doing before you air it.
We do.
We do.
That's happening.
We do.
And have we ever had a problem with what they've sent us?
I think in 2 years, we have had one edit we've requested where one officer actually had probable cause for an arrest, but explained it wrong on TV, and we just asked them to voice it over. He said the wrong thing, but he had it right, and we just asked them to voice it over, and they did. They've been nothing but courteous and responsive to any concern we've had, but
Can I request that a letter of intent not to use be submitted? I know we can't formally have it, but I mean, just so there's something on record stating.
Are you willing to
this?
write a letter that validates what you just said in public?
I'd have to obviously check for sure, but absolutely. I think the only thing I would add, Alderman Hoffman, is that, and you've been in the industry, it is in my best interest for you to like the show again.
For sure.
And to back the show.
I mean, a day before that, I found out that
Yes.
footage was used. I was all for this show.
Absolutely.
But
And I think that, the reason that I'm out here, beyond the fact that I enjoy being out here, is because I want folks to hear directly from the company owner that we recognize that was something that caused a great deal of consternation here, and therefore for me. And in this season, it is incumbent on us to prove to you guys, and with seeing these cuts prior to their release, that we are holding to our word.
Well, your crew has been phenomenal down here. They're well respected around town. I've interacted with several of them. Again, I thought, I like hearing my nieces call me from Alabama and because they're watching the show. So I was very excited about this, and it was going great. That is just something that we have to find a way that it can't happen.
Okay. Can you look into that and let us know if you can provide a letter that basically is the same thing that you're saying that you will do?
Yeah, I can look into
You
that.
got 2 weeks, and if we get that, that may help very much to make sure it goes through the second time.
Yes, sir.
All right?
Thank
Any
you.
other questions or concerns? Alderman Collins.
I just want to say, I accept your gentleman's agreement that you won't make the same mistake again, but I will back up Alderman Hoffman that if a similar mistake is made, we won't be doing this next year. So, I think you do a great job. It was a mistake. It was not a great one, but mistakes happen. So I look forward to seeing the next season.
Okay. Any other questions or concerns? Alderman McKay.
I want to say, I've enjoyed the show. I never looked at it through the city's eyes until I got this position, so I went back and kind of watched some. I've been in a unique position where I've talked to some tourists and locals and asked flat out, watching the show, does it make you not want to come to the lake? And everybody I talked to loves it. Also sat down with some representatives of Lake Ozark before their vote and asked their concerns. Their chief was for it, along with city administrator, and I think they voted yes already, so they're all for it. So I enjoy the show.
Okay. Any other comments or questions?
Could I just,
Yes, Alderman
thank
Hoffman.
you for answering all the questions.
Yeah, we
I
appreciate
appreciate your time very much.
And I appreciate your candor, sir.
Chief, this is to you. Is your department happy with how this is going and looking forward to the third year?
It's about a mix, kind of like it has been from season 1, season 2.
Right.
Some of the guys are interested in having them, and some enjoyed the car by themselves.
Sure. Okay.
But we have had people flip in the middle of season, so.
And has there been any problem with the K-9 unit? No?
None.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Oh, yeah. People love that dog, from what I understand.
She even got
People like
invited to a
K-9.
wedding in, what state was that? I can't remember.
Wisconsin, wasn't it?
Wisconsin.
She's a movie star.
Alderman George.
To you, Chief, just when you mentioned that some are okay driving in their car by themselves, nobody's forced to have a camera with them,
No.
correct?
No, it's
Okay,
totally voluntary.
okay, thank you.
Any further discussion or comments? Then I'm looking for a motion.
Motion?
Alderman McKay.
Second.
Alderman Rucker. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Let's hope, thank you. And it's right at an hour and a half. Would everybody appreciate a bio break? All right. It's 5 minutes, folks. On the clock. 7:05.
It's the first time we've ever had an intermission.
Intermission.
Thank you.
Right in their face, right? How's the back doing, Kevin?
I have